Well, good morning. It's just past 10 a.m. and Fulham have made a signing, maybe the first of two today. Of course, we know about Sanderberg and we know about Joachim Anderson, but it's official with Sanderberg. Fantastic news and a couple of interesting points I want to get into. He has signed a 5-year deal with an option of an extension of a further 12 months, which is fantastic. It does seem like Fulham are tying down these players to longer contracts. Obviously, helps with amortization, and yeah, we can spread the costs about. The fee apparently is, according to Peter Rutzler, 20 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Okay, so interesting. Of course, signed from Burnley, of course, and I'm pretty pleased. Do you know what's really interesting about this signing? And the way it's been put across by the club. Um, it says a defensive midfielder who is also at home playing further forward as an 8. So is that his predominant position? Is he the Paulinho replacement? Is Andre and that goodbye sort of, I don't know what that was, like that video of him after that Fulham game the other night. Was that people adding 2 and 2 and getting not 4? So yeah, people are getting quite giddy about that. I don't think that Fulham have the budget to spend on another midfielder. But yeah, there's not much more to say really. It's not going to be a long video. But Sanderberg, obviously, Premier League experience at Sheffield United, at Burnley. He was in that team that for Sheffield United, that you remember they came up from the Championship in the season that basically got cut because of COVID-19. When Burnley were pushing for Europe, they signed him in January of that season, and from that stage they started to wobble in terms of their form and ended up not finishing in the European places. However, I still think this is a good player and a really good addition for Fulham. Another body in midfield, and look, if he does sit at defensive midfield, which by the way I think he'll be registered now in time for the game against Leicester, it'll be interesting to see how he does. So just for balance now, you look at, we're going to preview Leicester a little bit later actually on the channel, and for Patreon members, this is for Patreon and YouTube, this video and the Leicester preview, and if there's a Joachim Anderson announcement, we'll do that for both too. So my thinking is, does Sanderberg sit at the heart of, at defensive midfield? Obviously, he hasn't had any pre-season yet, so we should caveat it with that. He won't be involved in terms of the starting 11 on Saturday, unless we go for it. But I don't think he will. He's had no pre-season. So just going forward, looking at maybe the months going into September, October, November, Berge sitting at the heart. Why do I keep saying at the heart? I suppose sitting in defensive midfield, and then Sasha Lukic playing maybe as the 8, and then either Smith or Pereira playing as the 10, or Harrison Reed could play in that role at defensive midfield as well, or in the 8. So there are options for Fulham, and it's just helped the midfield out a little bit. Was this the Paulinho replacement? I'm not sure. We'll see in the coming days. It's probably more likely it was, but people have come back and there's a lot of talk online about is Berge good enough to be the Paulinho replacement? Is that his natural position? Well, apparently it is. Defensive midfielder is his natural position and can play in the 8 as well. So again, a nice versatile midfielder that can play in 2 different positions and cover the spaces in that midfield. This is a good signing, in my opinion. Any player who's had good Premier League experience and is very capable at this level, like I said, scored a good goal at Fulham last season, then I'm happy with. Obviously, McTominay was talked about as well. We seem to have saved ourselves about £5 million in not going for McTominay and going for Sanderberg instead. Apparently, they've been in talks with Sanderberg for about 3 weeks, and it only came out a few days ago. So well played to the club for keeping that one under wraps. I think that's all there is to say. I would love to hear people's thoughts. It might be a while until we see Sander Berge in the team. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a case of, yeah, you know what? Get your fitness up, get ready, get match fit ready. Does that make sense? No. Get match ready in terms of your fitness. And then maybe after the international break, once we played Ipswich and we have 2 weeks off, going into that 4th game against West Ham, he could maybe slot in, and maybe that's all the time he needs to get up to full fitness. Not saying that he's not fully fit. I mean, he maybe has kept fit throughout pre-season. He just hasn't had any football to play in terms of match minutes, game minutes. My brain's not working this morning, obviously. So, thanks so much for watching. As I record now, we are on 495 subscribers. That means just 5 of you watching who aren't subscribed. You go, yeah, I'll subscribe. Then we hit the 500 mark. Obviously, I would like to hit 500 and then more. We'd like to hit, 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. I think that is doable. Yeah, we've got. Yeah, I think we could do that. Another 505 subscribers by Christmas, and that would be fantastic. If you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, I'm gonna keep plugging it because it's my livelihood. So, or it's part of my livelihood. So, we went to the under-21s on Tuesday. You would have seen that in the last video with me whispering in the hotel room. And we got some really good content. We got a great interview with Hayden Mullins. That won't be the only under-21s game I'll be going to this season. There's some at Motspur Park. I'll be going straight there in the evenings, or maybe after a press conference if the times work out. And then we still got to play Walsall and Birmingham in the EFL Trophy, and we go to Birmingham next week for the Carabao Cup. The Patreon is the best place to see exclusive content, post-match reaction from not only myself, but from players and managers of Fulham, first team and under-21 level. And it's a great place to stay in tune with what's going on with Fulham. You get instant reaction to things that are happening. Obviously, once the window closes, you might go, well, what's there to react to? There's plenty to react to, matches, press conferences, just general bits of news. And it's just a £5 a month. It really is that simple. And yeah, you get daily content, and you'll get it on your phone, on your Patreon app, delivered to you on a daily basis. It's a great place to be. The community is really fun, really good, nice community, and we're having a great time. So I'd love it if you were to join me on the journey. You know where the links are, unhyperlinked for some reason in the YouTube description. Although when I send it into certain chats, it does get hyperlinked. So I got no idea what's going on there. It's in my Twitter bio, Instagram bio, and at the top of my YouTube homepage. Just 5 away from 500. So thank you so much for the support. A longer video than I thought it was going to be, but hey ho. Sander Berge is a Fulham player. It's a fantastic news. Maybe the first of 2 today. Hopefully we see Alfie Anderson sign on the dotted line at some point today as well. And of course, we'll be back to react to it. Also, the 3rd shirt is now available in store to purchase. So now all 3 are available, and I'm going to have to try and find a way to get all 3 at some point because they are fantastic shirts. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And we will speak later today, and that's a promise.